What's up everyone? It has dawned on me recently that a lot of you don't actually know much about Red, the character, the mascot, the whole inspiration behind starting my own game development channel and studio. So today I thought I would go through a brief history of Red's stories, where he began, and just general information about him in general. Also, I went and used Dreams to make like a wee background, like a little studio room. Let me know what you think about that as well. Okay, let's begin. So Red as a concept was actually created way back in 2014. It wasn't actually drawn for the first time until 2016, and it wasn't until 2020 when Dreams came out that Red's first model was actually created. So Red's been around for about 10 years, give or take, and it's only been the last, since about 2018, where the story of Red, or rather the Red and the Phantom Castle storyline, that's when that started developing, 2018, so there was about 4 years of him just kind of existing in my head without a real story. And then 4 years later we started the story. 2 years after that we created a model, and then here we are. So for a lot of people who just joined the channel this year and don't have any previous knowledge of Dreams, Red originally had 3 storylines, a trilogy basically. Red and the Phantom Castle, Red and the Cursed Isles, and then Red and the Journey Home. And the trilogy kind of focuses around the Solaria storyline. So even though the games are available on Dreams, I'm not going to get into story specifics, mainly because one, our very first official game on Unreal Engine is actually going to be Spirits Inc., which is a prequel that takes place 4 years before like the original storyline that I told on Dreams. And two, a lot of the storyline is probably subject to change due to the fact that over the past 4 years I've become a better writer, game director, storyteller, so I kind of want to revamp some of the stuff and make it a bit more intricate rather than the kind of basicness that I've had previously. Especially with this kind of expanding the story, it would just be cool to be able to expand the story, because when I first told it in Dreams it was very kind of cut and dry. We missed out on a lot of characters basically. But to catch you up to speed with just how much Red stuff there actually is, let me show you what I've created over 4 years on Dreams. So this is the grand escapade right here of everything I've made on Dreams of Red. Starting off of course with Red and the Phantom Castle. I would have eventually remade Red and the Phantom Castle remake in 2022, kind of expanding the lore and stuff like that. We also have Red and the Cursed Isles, the sequel to the Phantom Castle, and then the third game didn't actually end up making it to Dreams due to the fact that Dreams had a dwindling fan base, so it didn't become feasible to spend a long time, probably over a year, making a game to basically no one playing it. But when I did make the remake of the Phantom Castle, it was basically upgraded character models, upgraded storylines, characters added in. It definitely became a lot closer to what I wanted. The Cursed Isles became this kind of open world sort of RPG style game that's seen you go to a bunch of different islands. Next we had Red Talks. Red Talks was an animated show that basically seen Red tell stories, basically tell my stories in an animated fashion, where he would go into talking about working in retail at Christmas, how he's afraid of horror games, basically my stories but animated and told through Red. Okay, I just had to completely re-record this entire section of the video because the amount of times I have said basically was driving me insane while editing the video. Like, oh my god, every third word was basically blah blah blah. So if literally, like, going back, if you thought how many times I said basically was lots there. This segment that I was about to say was like basically and then basically and basically, so I'm just going to re-record this. I don't know why I'm leaving this in, but there you go, a wee bit behind the scenes. So Let's Talk Dreams is essentially, oh my god, is basically, it's driving me nuts. Let's Talk Dreams is a talk show in which Red would discuss and show off other Dreams creations by other talented creators. But we have already discussed this in a video which you can look at in the comments, or sorry, in the description below if you so choose. After that, we have The Animated Adventures of Doodle Red, which is another animated show that took audio from previous Twitch streams of various funny moments that were had, and then we animated Doodle Red to specific scenes. So being chased in Dead by Daylight, playing through Jurassic Evolution, so when the dinosaur gets loose, Red was panicking and stuff like that. Quite funny, people really enjoyed it, people loved to see him in a different light because obviously it was my voice going through the character, so it became this kind of seeing Red act grown up, kind of. There was also a bunch of mini games. We had a mini game called Ready to Go, where it was a 2D platformer that I had created in 24 hours as a kind of challenge from Media Molecule. We had Balloon Dash, which was basically kind of like balloon flight but red, where you're dodging goblins in the air and collecting coins. And then we have The Enchanted Palace, which was a small prequel that took place a year before the Phantom Castle, that just basically kind of led into that game. And that was actually the first thing I ever put out on Dreams. And finally, we have Paper Red and the Spirit Sync, which is a very compact version of the prologue that you would see in the full game. Paper Red and the Spirit Sync is in large part mainly the reason why Edo Studios is even a thing. I fell in love with the art style, and for our first foray into big boy game development, I decided, you know what, instead of making another 3D action platformer that I've done so much already on Dreams, why don't we make it a bit more of a challenge and go for the paper aesthetic. Now of course it's heavily inspired by Paper Mario, but the original inspiration to actually start doing this was Bug Fables. I freaking love Bug Fables, I love it so much, and that really went and made me decide how cool would it be if Red was in that kind of art style. And this compact version of Paper Red really shows more of a proof of concept in the end. It allows me to show off to other people, let them see how it would be if we did make it in Unreal. And right now it's in development in Unreal with some really talented people helping me make it, so I'm very excited for that. And that is it. That is every single piece of Red content available to the public as of right now. In reflection, it's definitely sad to see so much Red stuff being tied down to Dreams, especially with such a dwindling fan base. It's in large part frustrating to me that I decided to put all my eggs in one basket and make everything in Dreams, when I wish I could have went back in time and maybe started my Unreal Engine journey sooner. But you win some, you lose some. It is thanks to Dreams that I'm able to make the cool background stuff that you see. So it's not a complete loss, but you know, you never get that time back. But I really am excited because we've got some really cool stuff planned. Not only just games, but we're constantly working behind the scenes on other Red themed stuff. Obviously we've got Village U. I just realised I didn't talk about Village U. Village U is another Red project that is an online village that updates with our channel, our Edo Studios channel. So the better the channel does, the better the village does. You've probably seen it splayed all over the channel already. Go check it out though if you haven't, and subscribe. That really does help the channel. Liking, sharing videos, that sort of thing really does help. But yeah, that's enough for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, share the video. Again, don't know why I said it. But yeah, have a fantastic weekend wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video on Tuesday. Bye.